You started out, I think, in Cheech and Chong movies. Is that right? Didn't you?
Yeah. I did a couple of Cheech and Chong movies because I went in and auditioned for Cheech, and I played him like Charlie's Angels on my guitar, which is like, he hired the band to be in Nice Dreams, and I was in, I can't even remember the name of the last one because they changed it, but it was one of their older ones.
So, but very early on, you got into the horror field, like very early on in your career.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever have dreams of doing other kinds of films, or did you really enjoy that genre?
I enjoyed that, and then when they started making like Alien, that I wanted to be more of a tough girl and start fighting back and doing more films that were like stronger roles. I didn't think of, I didn't want to do Shakespeare or stage or anything, but I wanted to just do the films, you know, drama, comedy. I did a lot of, you know, the teen comedies too, and I had fun doing them.
So I also wanted to ask you a little bit about what you think distinguishes you from, well, not maybe distinguishes you, but how you feel the Scream Queens of, say, the 80s and the 90s maybe compare to Scream Queens today, or women working in the industry today. Do you think the industry's changed a lot for women?
I think it's changed a lot. Most of the women cast now, it's like they have like, they're on a spaceship, or I think I'm thinking one of Jason's and scientists, and they're like 18 years old, and everybody's perfect. And that takes away from the realism at times, instead of just the person next door and in the other films that weren't in there. They're also.
We were watching the horror workout tape before the film.
Oh my.
So what was going on with that?
That was a crazy, weird idea that Ken Hall and I had when we were doing Murder Weapon, and we thought it would be fun to do an exercise video like Jane Fonda did, but you know, since it's really, horror films are hard to work on. I mean, you're running, you're like, you know, heavy things you're doing, you know, so I thought, I'm gonna do something, you know, just in, you know, in this great graveyard. And we brought the porta potties in, and everybody's, you know, a lot of zombies we had all made up, and it's like, we were up there, it's very secluded, and we'd gotten maybe half filmed of that part. And the fire department decided to come up to do their little test that they do like every 3 months, which I knew nothing about. And they saw a zombie walking down the road, the mountain. And we're like, uh-oh, we're doing a student film, and I'm like trying to like stall them, you know, saying, isn't that the, you know, Mark and here, and, you know, and just trying to throw them off, and we're like, keep filming, you know. and then what was really bad is Entertainment Tonight and E came to interview us. Well, the police, or not the police, but the fire department's there, and I said, please don't air the part where, you know, the firemen are like busting us. And they came down, and we had to kind of change it to by my parents' pool.
Downgrade. So do you think that the workout itself is medically sound? Because I was really plugging the DVD, that people should get that DVD, and if they go home and do that workout, is it going to help?
I think, yes, if you turn down that damn music, yes! It's like, oh my God, that's the one thing that kills me. I'm like, I can't listen to this music. But I think it hasn't killed anybody yet. So.
And if they die, they'll come back as a zombie, and so it's fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah, it's a bad curse, but you do.
I want to ask you one other thing maybe before we open it up. I also mentioned that you are an author, in addition to many other things you do, and you were nominated for a Bram Stoker Award this year for your short story, The Wizard of Ooze. Ooze. So is that an area that you're looking to get more into, the writing?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in all of it, the producing, which I've done. I like coming up with the ideas. It's to me just since being in B movies a lot, you do learn to do everything. I think I could do a film rather well.
Yeah, it seems like the experience of having to do everything on a film would make you a good producer because you would understand exactly what everyone needs to do to get it done, because you've done everything pretty much.
Yeah, and also being like apathetic toward the actors, because there's directors that aren't, and the guys are the worst though. They're always like, how was it? And the directors are like wanting to move on. They've guided great, and that is funny. It's always the guys that are very, very insecure.
Men have a lot of performance anxiety.
Yes.
Even in films, yeah.
Oh, those kind of films.
Oh, I don't know where this is going. But, so would you like to take some questions from the audience? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions for Ms. Quigley?
I got a question.
There's a question.
Couple questions. The screening of this one, is this the theatrical trailer? Because Alan Troutman's voice on Tarmac does not, because I own the director's cut and the other one, it doesn't sound like Tarmac. He's like, the voice is higher pitched.
Wow.
That's what I noticed, and the music was a little different. So I was wondering if this is the original theatrical cut from 1985 or if they changed it around.
Oh, so he's asking if this was the original cut.
Did change it. There's like something when the car's driving over the railroad. It's like the music's different. And you're so right on. My God, are you a filmmaker?
No, I've just watched Return of the Living Dead probably about 50 times. So.
Wow. But yeah, I think this is not the director's cut, but
I think it was a theatrical cut. I think this print is probably close to an original print, I think, from when it first played in the 80s.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions for Linnea? Yeah, right here in the middle.
Yeah, you've got like 90 films you've been in now. Which was your biggest surprise that actually got finished and released?
What was your biggest surprise of all the films you've done that got released?
I think it would be Sex Bomb. It took forever. I don't know how many years. And then Treasure of the Moon Goddess, which is hard to find. That took a lot of years. I think those two. And there's a lot more. I mean, it's amazing. With some good cast and everything. But sometimes, legal things happen a lot. Because there's and yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I'm trying to think, yeah.
Yeah. And I would imagine that with a lot of those early films particularly, you probably didn't get paid a lot to be in those films. And you certainly are probably not seeing residuals from a lot of those films.
Not the David Dakota, Sorority Babes, or the Hollywood Chainsaw Hooker ones, no. So it's nice when, I used to, which is fun to do, but it's not really me, but I used to be the close-up toothpaste girl, and I made a lot of money on it.
So toothpaste commercials are more lucrative than horror.
Yeah.
It's a shocker.
I know, you go to New York one day, and they look in your mouth, and then you're like, doing it, and you get a lot of money, and no brain or be buried, but that's no fun.